What's up, everybody? Welcome to yet another episode of Getting to Know, and this time we are interviewing the lovely Chokoleti. Really enjoyed the conversation. She's just such a chill person to talk to. And I found out a lot of new things about Choco in his interview that I didn't know. So that's a great reason for doing this. Getting to know people is the whole point of the show, and I hope you enjoy getting to know Choco as well. Here are some clips, and then following that, we'll be straight back with the interview.
Choko chaka chaka. Oh, I'm sorry. I panicked. Video games.
Video game, video game,
Twitching
video
on my
game,
face.
video
Twitching.
game, video game.
I'm sorry. Paranormal faptivity. Is that what you wanted me to say? Because it's a thing. I watched it. I think it's like 3 or 4 years ago now. It was underwhelming. Mudge takes it dry. Interesting. Oh. Jesus fucking... I forgot I put that in there! Fuck you, Masha! Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me, and it was fucking pants meat! I totally forgot. I didn't think anyone would do it.
What's up, everybody? I'm here with the lovely Chokoleti, Choco Coco. Any other names you're known by?
Nope.
Other than there, I think.
Oh, there's Letty. I think is the only other one.
Yeah, Letty, but that's a mouthful to me for some reason. I don't know why.
It really is. Yeah, Choco with about 15 extra syllables is much easier.
It is. It rolls off the tongue. So how are you doing? Thank you for being on this.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We must make people aware that it's actually 5 o'clock in the morning for you right now.
It is. It is 5 a.m.
The sacrifice that you have made to take part in this. It's quite impressive.
No.
Right, you know my transition into questions is pretty shit. As you've watched any of these to see that. But I wanna find out the origins of Choco when it comes to video games. Where did it start? Was there an influence?
Yeah, absolutely. So when I was like 2, my dad, well, he's like a huge computer nerd, video game nerd, and he has been his whole life. He got me started playing. First game was Starship Titanic. I was 2 years old, sitting on his lap. We were playing on his laptop, and that's like an old point and click. It's a game I think meant for adults, but it's not. Like it's like Myst, like those kinds of games. But yeah, but you're up in the sky in a starship called the Titanic. So you know that the voyage is going to go well. It was a very good game.
How old were you then? Do you remember?
How old was I?
Yeah.
I was 2.
Baby
I was
Choco.
really little. I have very vivid memories of it, though. I absolutely adored it. And then from that, we transitioned onto Myst and Ribbon and Exile and all those games. And so I loved the problem solving and the new worlds and just getting lost in them. And I just was hooked immediately. Me, my dad, my brother, when he was born, started playing the games together. We'd all like sit together. My dad got us these funny hats called our thinking caps that we would all wear. And so if there was a hard problem we had to solve, we'd all put on our thinking caps. And mine was a frog, my dad's was a fish, and my brother's was, oh my goodness, another animal. I can't seem to recall. Turtle. They were like little 3D hats that had like the bits sticking out. So it was very cute, and I have a lot of really fond memories of that. Like I remember I was trying to win no matter what since day one. I remember there was a part in Myst where you had to memorize a sequence, and then it was like a sequence of lights that would blink, and then you'd have to input it back, and each round would get longer and longer. And it got to a point where it was so long, we were all having trouble remembering it. So I was like 4, and I said, Dad, we have to take the video camera recorder and film it so that we could play it back. We had to, like, obviously it wasn't, like you just record it on your phone and then look at it easily. So we recorded it and had to, plug it into the TV and get it all set up. And 25 minutes later, then we could watch it back and input it back. So yeah, I loved it. From there, we played. We got the Nintendo 64 was my first console. So after computer games, that's when I started playing games like by myself. Was with
Right.
the Nintendo 64. Up until then, was mostly aside from the children's computer games that everyone plays. I was mostly playing like good games with my dad. But yeah, Nintendo 64, Zelda, Banjo Kazooie, all those.
It seems like
Uh,
that's a lot of people's upbringing is Nintendo 64.
Good console. Still probably my favorite if I had to choose,
Do you
but
ever
I'm
go back
sure.
and play any of them still, or?
Yeah, I actually I have an emulator on my PC now that Moon just told me how to do. I didn't realize how easy it was to install. I've been playing Ocarina of Time recently.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay. You enjoying it?
Yeah,
Is it like
yeah.
a um? What do you call it? Like reminiscing of the old days.
Yeah, no, definitely. I have a lot of very fond memories with Ocarina of Time. I think it's one game that kind of got me into horror, even though it's not a horror game. Just like my fascination with the Redeads. I think like
Hmm.
it's one of those things like they were so creepy, but I loved it. Like I couldn't look away.
Got you.
Kind of, yeah. Like similar, like I think cartoons also got me into horror, like Courage the Cowardly Dog and stuff. I know we've chatted about cartoons before.
Yeah.
It's just like disturbing, but you can't stop watching,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. Yeah, um, I just yeah loved it.
It's almost like car crash telly. That's kind of think what the term they use because when you're driving on the highway and there's been a crash, everyone stops to look. Is that
Oh yeah,
sort
we
of
call
you get?
we call that rubbernecking here. I'm not sure if you guys say that.
Of course, you have a different term for it than everyone else.
Yeah, it makes more sense than yours as well.
How does it? How?
Well, because your neck's like rubber because it snaps to look over at the car crash.
I mean, how? It depends how quickly you decide to look at it, I suppose. Maybe
I
some
guess we have
people are a
better
bit slower.
reflexes than you.
Oh, maybe, yeah, whatever. Always got to win at everything, haven't you?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Have you done speed running? You have, haven't you?
I wouldn't really say so. I think I I have been was trying to learn the RE7 speedrun. I think I love watching speedruns, but I don't think I'm someone who loves doing speedruns.
No.
But Coke underscore Snorta really wants me to speedrun. I think he really wants me to beat Moon and or Bill at them. So I don't foresee that happening, but I love watching speedruns. I find them terribly interesting. Like I've been watching them for a while. Like I used to watch RE7 speedruns years ago when the game first came out to
Hmm.
fall asleep too. Like I just found it very relaxing. It was non-commentary versions. Uh and but yeah, doing them I not
You
that great.
you seem to have a slight temptation though. Like there's part of you that is like, well, I kind of really want to do it.
Are you trying to make me think I want to do it? No, I mean
I
I
don't think
like
I need to do that.
I think I like the idea of trying to do them quickly, but not to the same competitive level that some of our friends do. I
Gotcha,
think.
like
Have
casual.
you have you ever done any speed
No,
running?
no, it's not me.
No, no.
You know how slow I am in games and just
This is
generally in
true.
life, so it's it's not really my avenue, unfortunately. It's kind of a tricky question, but I don't like to leave it out because obviously we've come very far in the world of gaming. It's gone almost insane. How do you think gaming will sort of evolve from now?
I hope that in a way kind of goes back to some ways it was before, but I don't foresee that happening. Um, I think there's a little bit of a tipping point where too much is too much. Like I really I miss the tactile, like having even from N64 to GameCube, you had this nice little chunky cartridge, and you could it had some weight to it when you picked it up. You're
Mm.
like, yeah, this is my game. Like there's a whole world inside this little half circle, and it was just so satisfying to click it in, um, and the game more or less was finished
Yeah.
when you got it, and there was no microtransactions. I know everyone gets upset about those, but I'm definitely one of them. And I know that the game studios need to make money,
Hmm.
obviously, but it just feels a little bit like a little tricky, like they're trying to kind of trick you out of your money
Yeah.
in some ways. Definitely vehemently against like loot boxes and stuff that you have to pay for, and all that kind of thing. I think it just abuses some people's tendencies to
Yeah, because
gamble,
it
and
is gambling. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, no, exactly. It's very dangerous and a very abusive business practice, I think. But I miss the tactileness, even though it's more convenient to download it.
Mm.
It's a little bit different. I hate how game studios now often will give you a product, and they know it's not finished, but they feel like it's okay because they can give you updates and updates and updates and
Yeah.
updates.
It's a cop out. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, really, who can decide? That is us, the consumers. Um, but it's tough. So I hope that at a certain point we just, I don't know, there's other game studios either kind of go back to at least that, giving out a finished game and not abusing, you know, you know microtransactions and paid DLCs and stuff for things that should be, in the full game.
Yeah.
Um, and then we can, you know, direct our money there instead. Uh, so I hope that that we can kind of return to some of the bonus points there. I don't, foresee us going away from digital downloads at all by any means.
No, even
Um,
I think that'll
no,
push through on it now. Basically,
yeah,
the
yeah,
future.
right. No, it's but for me, it's almost like in a way, it's like the difference between holding a book and having a Kindle. There's just like a little bit of something. Like you're still getting the story, but there's just something a little bit off about the experience. And I think it might also just be because I grew up with console stuff, and I
Uh
grew
huh.
up with having the big CD book that I could
Oh, the manual and everything.
yeah, or all my games, all my computer games in a big CD book.
Yeah.
Um, and just like having it in front of you like that, I think it's just maybe it's just a part of the nostalgic experience. Maybe it is more trouble than it's worth because you have to keep them, in good condition and stuff. But um, yeah, I think aside from that, I think we're headed into obviously more VR. It's
Yep. Have
getting better and better.
you ever tried VR?
Um, yeah, I have. I tried it at Moons and at Nick Peaks, and it was fun. It's not. I think it's not really. It seems like something that's like fun for an experience,
Hmm.
uh, like you know, just kind of experience games. But I wouldn't want to play like a full length feature in VR.
Right.
It's not as fun for me, but um, I don't know.
No,
Like
I get what you're saying. You wouldn't want to play a full story game in VR, um, but like party games and uh, arcadey type
yeah,
things is okay.
yeah. Or Moon has play. It was this cute like problem solving game where you were in a few different levels. There's like a crypt in a witch's house. You just had to go around and find clues and stuff. But it was like a relatively short um, game, and you weren't doing much except for standing there and looking
Hmm.
around. So you weren't running around a a whole house or anything like that, like in RE7. So or trying to shoot anything.
Yeah.
So I think that probably helps.
I think horror games are the way forward in VR. I would expect.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's I played a like a roller coaster themed horror
Oh, okay.
at Nick Peak and Britt's house. You're just sitting in this little coaster cart and you're going through and it's just all this creepy shit that keeps
Oh, like
popping up at
jumps
you.
out on you. Okay.
Yeah. It was interesting. But yeah, no, horror in VR, like I can't imagine. I remember how scary RE7 was for me the first time I played it. I can't imagine if my first time playing it was in VR, like poor fucking Bill
Yeah,
Chamber.
I don't know how he did that. Yeah, the first time I played that game, I was sweating by the end of it.
No, it's terrifying, especially the guest house, the first bit. Like
Yeah, being chased around by that verted old man.
right, yeah, and Mia and stuff, you just don't really know what's going on yet. It's
Mm,
terrifying.
it's pretty freaky.
When did you play it?
I streamed it briefly like a couple of years ago. I tried it and then I never went back to it.
So you didn't finish it?
Did I fuck? Never will. But probably now that I've seen like a million people speedrunning it now. So
Oh yeah, it's like
maybe it'd
not
be
even
different.
scary at this point.
Yeah. It's the same with people like you played Outlast, right? And you none of you seem phased by it at all.
When you know what's going on and when the scares are coming, I think the only game that I've ever played that it still scares me every time is PT. As I don't think there's I've watched a bunch of behind the scenes videos and watched a lot of the people played it and played it a lot myself, and it scares me every fucking time.
Is that the one you did with Moon that time?
Yes,
Right.
yeah. Oh god, it's so
Got you.
scary.
Yeah, I
So
remember
fucking scary potato.
the clip of you both getting shit up like at the same time. That was thoroughly entertaining. Moving away from gaming, can you do me an English accent?
Fuck. Well, give me something to say and I'll try to say it with an English accent.
Okay, right. You ready for this? Wagwan 15, can I get your BBM pin in it?
Wagwan 15, can I get your BBM in it?
Oh.
Fuck was that?
I was expecting so much more from you, Choco. I'm
I'm sorry.
disappointed.
Okay. Well, if you write it down, I can read it. I don't even remember what the fuck you said. What language was that? Wagwan PB. What?
All right, let me type it to you. All right, we're doing an experiment.
Jesus fuck.
Right. Okay.
Wagwan 15. 15. Can I get your BBM pin in it?
That sounds better. All right, that's fine.
Fuck's a BBM?
BBM was a messaging service, and like you'd have to use. There was like a pin that someone would give you to have access to chat with them, and this is what chavs would used to say.
So it's a pickup line.
Yeah, can I get your BBM pin in it?
Hey, chat. Can I get your BBM?
Like asking for someone's phone number.
Oh, can I get your number? All right, can you... What?
Bit weird.
What?
Bit weird the way you said it, mate, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought that's what we're doing.
Can I get your number?
Can I get your number?
So if we move on from that god-awful English accent.
Wow.
Which other hobbies did you have growing up, Choco?
Well, no, god awful. Wow. Wow.
Look, there's no one's gonna top Mudge's accent, so it's fun to get people to try and fail. Mm-hmm. Hobbies when you grew up? Any?
Besides video games, I loved cooking. I loved going on walks in the woods. We lived like in the woods, and I used to just kind of go off on my own and explore. I loved like creating, I guess. Had a bunch of little notebooks where I would invent like towns and cities
Oh.
and products and stuff and uh, languages to an extent,
Mhm.
um, and all kinds of things. I just like coming up with shit, basically.
Okay. When did, because you're quite big into horror now, right?
Yes.
When did that start?
Yeah, so I think, like I was saying before, I think probably cartoons and video games, just like little subtle things, I think kind of probably hit it off, like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of cartoons from that era that, had a little bit of a fucked upness to them that I just loved. Um, I always loved all the spooky levels in video games. I always loved all the Disney villains. My first crush was Hades from Hercules. Very good taste in men, I know. So I just like Pegasus from Yu-Gi-Oh. I just loved all the villains, and so I just kind of started like I think I just was drawn towards I think how emotionally powerful and dramatic horror and creepy and just kind of scary stuff was. It just drummed up a lot of um, powerful feelings. So I think I just thought like this is really cool. Like I really like resonate with this. My dad likes horror as well, so when I got a little bit older, we were like horror buddies.
So that helped,
Um,
yeah.
yes, yeah. So I remember we we're 13. I told this story when I was playing I was streaming Dead Space, but I was 13. We're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we're about halfway through the movie, and my dad just pauses it and gets up and goes into his workshop. Doesn't say anything. I figured he'd go pee, but he goes into his workshop, comes back with a chainsaw, and he just puts it on the couch right in between us. Still doesn't say anything, and just sits down, puts his feet up, and puts the movie back on. And the movie was way scarier.
Because you got an actual
Way-
chainsaw next to
Well,
you.
yeah, and your silent ass father who just cryptically just placed it there, didn't say anything. So
I love it.
yeah, that's my dad. So that's again, he also was, I think really encouraged my love of creepy stuff and horror and you know, um, like we were playing Doom together a few days ago, and when I was like smashing through the skulls and stuff, my dad's like, "Nice!" He was just very excited.
I love it.
So
It's
we
such
like,
a nice little relationship you have there.
yeah. He still plays a lot of games and stuff. Like he loves blowing things up. So it's
Oh, that's good.
same old man. Yeah.
I mean, because obviously I've heard you tell that story before, and it always sounds so. Can't think the word. I've having a brain freeze. But it's just really nice, touching relationship to have, and like to hold the same passion over games must be quite nice.
Yeah. No, it is. It's we have always bonded over it. We played like a lot of games together uh, over the years, and I think we think similar things are cool that no one else in my family thinks are cool. Like we're the only ones who will get excited about the skull getting smashed in Doom. Like my mom certainly not. My sister, my brother, they're not really into that kind of stuff. Oh, this is awesome. So, yeah, my dad and I have always been quite close. When I was younger, he wanted me to be a UFC fighter, and recently he's wanted me to get into blacksmithing. So I think I am the son he never had.
I love it.
Is this what is what it is?
I
So.
love it. I love it. It's like I really want my daughter to be a UFC fighter.
he really for like a couple of years he was like really saying like you do really well, you're strong and you got fire in you, and he just probably wanted to see me beat people up on TV.
I think he's basically just saying that you're evil,
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Potato.
and you got to grips with your evil side very early on in life with these cartoons and the
Yes.
villains.
Yes.
I've made myself a note here, right? So for every person I do, I try to throw in a few unique questions, and my note is literally Choco, capital letters,
Mhm.
ice sculptures, question mark, question mark, question mark. Because I
Yeah,
remembered that you
so
did ice sculptures, and please tell us about it.
yes, of course. So pre-COVID, I was working at an ice sculpture place for a while. I really loved it. Um, how did I get into it? I was working at MIT doing graphic design for a while, and I honestly I loved a lot of things about it, but it was just getting a little bit samey,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. And I wasn't feeling particularly fulfilled, um, just creatively. So I was just browsing job postings um, for design related things, and then ice sculpture designer came up, and I was like, this is interesting. So I clicked on it, I looked into it, and I literally had never thought of ice sculptures in my life. Like I never um, considered having one. Like I just basically saw them on TV once in a while, or New Year's things, and I looked at their work that this place had done, and I was really blown away. And it opened my mind. I was like, oh, of course there can be an infinite amount of things you can do with ice sculptures. It's not just swans at a
Yeah.
wedding. Like there's just so many things you can do. It's just a medium that's very cold. It's like really fascinating. So I applied, and I got it. And yeah, I basically was in charge of designing all of the ice sculptures. So I would work one on one with clients, and they would tell me what kind of event they were having, what they wanted. And sometimes they had no idea what they wanted. Sometimes they were like, you know, most of the time they didn't really have much of an idea, but sometimes they were like, I want this, like this, and this, and this, and this. And I would tell them, well, this is possible, this isn't, and blah, 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 and we'll, work with it. Um, but most of the time I was designing custom pieces. So I was doing the blueprints. So it was a lot of art and math because we're working with certain size blocks and the physics of you don't want things to be too small at the bottom so they don't melt or crumble. Just like a lot of random things to consider. But I was making the blueprints and either printing them with a CNC machine.
Okay.
So I programmed that to if we are doing like logo cuts and stuff. So companies like Google and a lot of restaurants and stuff would order ice sculptures, ice luges for their events. And then so I go on the computer and I design them in a CNC program, and then they get like cut by our CNC machine. Um, and then we also had hand sculpting artists, so I would draw the blueprints for them, and then they would chip it. And I did some practice chipping, but I wasn't like in charge of, you know, I really wanted to. I did like we had plans, me and one of the sculptors had plans to teach me a lot about how to actually sculpt them, but then Corona happened. So
Right.
no one wants ice sculptures right now. No one's having big events. So, but it was a lot of fun. Like I did a lot of really big pieces for New Year's. New Year's Eve, we have like a thing in Boston where people walk around and see a bunch of ice sculptures. So I did, I think, like 20 of those. I did like 50 for the Bruins Cup,
Jesus.
Stanley Cup. It was a hockey team a couple of years, year and a half ago. Time doesn't make sense anymore. I don't fucking know when it was now. Whenever the last Stanley Cup was. um, yeah, so it was really cool. I can't tell you how tempted I was when I went to interview for that job to drop so many puns about ice sculptures, because on my way to the interview I was just thinking of all the different stupid puns that you could make. Like, nice to meet you, and just all kinds of
Instead of
shit like that.
preparing for the interview itself,
Yeah,
you just
like,
got
what
this book of puns.
can I do? Yeah, exactly. Ugh.
I mean, when I found out that you did ice sculptures, I was kind of blown away because to me it just sounds such an awesome thing to be able to do, to design.
Really,
Like,
yeah, it was something different every day.
mm.
Anything from a fancy wedding where you do something custom and personal to the couple, to raunchy bachelorette parties.
I was just going to ask if you did erotic ones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I
Big
think
icy
some of them.
penis.
Yeah, lots of those. Some of them I don't think I can really DM me if you want to hear about some of them, because I don't feel comfortable talking about them here. Some of them got really, really. But yeah, like I would sometimes have to draw penises at work.
That's
Because
the
some
dream.
people, yeah, right? No, exactly. Get paid to draw penises. We would do, like nude people luges, like nude lady luges. So you have the lady, and she's like, sat um, her bum over here, and you pour the drink down her mouth, and it comes
Okay.
out her ass.
Right.
And so you put her, yeah. So fun things like that. We do a lot of classy luges. So that was, yeah. Luges were also nothing I really thought of before either. Halloween is a lot of fun, getting to design cool,
Mhm.
creepy things. Like we did stuff where you have like a skull and we put little LED lights inside the eye sockets, um, so that they were like flashing. It was just really, really cool. Something different every day.
Yeah.
Literally, one of my favorite ones that I got to do was this couple. They're having their son's first birthday party, but they wanted to have a luge there for the adults because they're 1 years old. Mostly the adults for the adults at that point. But they didn't want it to look out of place at a 1-year-old's birthday party. So I was talking to them, and I was like, "What kind of things is your son into? What's he like? What do you guys do together?" And they wound up telling me that their son's like favorite thing is every night they read him the story about this depressed fish, and it's called like the sad fish or the frowny fish, something to that effect. It's just this really sad fish he's like an Eeyore in the ocean, I
Okay.
suppose. Um, and I looked up a picture of him, and he has these big sad lips and these really sad droopy eyes, and he's just very dramatic and sad looking. And I was like, let's make a luge out of this fish. You can pour it in the back, and it'll come out his little sad lips, out his little sad mouth. You can put your mouth up to the sad fish, give him a little kiss, and get alcohol. And they're like, ah. So it was a cute, fun way to incorporate, like, it's still a kids' party. You have this like kind of like cartoony figure, but then the adults are using it as a luge. So a lot of fun.
So
Just
you were able to be really creative
yeah.
with your ideas and stuff.
Yeah, I got to basically everyone who called in was kind of like feeling them out over the phone, like how far can we push this? Like, how creative does this person get? Because some people just want something quite standard and stuff,
Hmm.
which is fine. But some people, like, I'd suggest something a little bit wacky to them, like, oh, I love that. And that was my favorite clients, obviously. You know,
I don't know if ice sculptures are just like a popular thing in America because I've never seen one here.
they
They must be
yeah,
a thing,
think they're coming back. Well, they were coming a little bit back into fashion. Uh, they were big, I think, in the 80s,
right?
but everyone was getting, like swans and just a bunch of old-fashioned stuff. And then I think they kind of went out of style because people associate them with the old-fashioned stuff. And now that people are using them in a much more creative way,
Hmm.
I think they're coming back a little bit. And were it not for Corona, I think they would have been gaining momentum because we were definitely seeing an increase in sales just because you can literally do just about anything with it. Had a lot of people call and ask, how how do you get the ice to not melt? It's like, oh no, honey, it melts. It's still
Just
ice.
over time.
Like, why does it cost so much money if it melts? If you want something permanent, don't order an ice sculpture. Jesus
Make it out of
Christ.
stone or something.
Right. So you're still paying someone to make custom art. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Um,
Is this
yeah.
something you'd like to get back into once the world is
Oh yeah.
normal?
I would love to. If not as a career, then for a personal, get back into it. Absolutely. It was really very satisfying being able to work those see stuff that you thought of a few days ago
Yeah.
be a physical object, because right now I'm just doing mostly digital art, and when I was at MIT I was doing mostly digital art. Sometimes it was printed, but just being able to like see it in front of you and walk around it and see how happy it makes people too when you deliver it. Sometimes I would go on site. It's just I can't. It's
Must be a
just
very nice feeling.
Yeah, it really is.
So if we
So
stick
I hope
on
you'll be ordering ice sculpture. I'll pencil you in.
yeah, no worries. But,
Potato.
I mean, by the time you sent it to me, it would have melted. But you know,
Yeah, I'll just push it over the Atlantic, and the waves will take care of
all right, okay,
it.
thanks. It might
Make it
even
over
grow a
just
little
fine.
bit. Might even be even bigger by the time it gets here.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what she said. So kind of on the same subject, because you know, water. You need water if you're going to eat food. So that's my link. Shut up. Favorite pizza topping?
Not really. Honestly, I'm not really a big pizza person.
Oh
I don't.
my god, I'm ending the interview.
So long. I don't dislike pizza. Favorite pizza topping.
It must be tricky, I suppose, if you don't eat it a lot.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I think my favorite would have to be eggplant, breaded eggplant. I think it's really nice on
Oh, because I
pizza.
forget you're a vegetarian
Right? Yeah, I
or a
don't. I
vegan.
don't eat. I don't eat dairy.
Are you vegan or
So
vegetarian?
I am pescatarian. I was vegan for 4
Pescatarian.
years.
Gotcha.
But I still very lactose intolerant. Still, like most places don't offer non-dairy cheeses when you. Well, some places do, and but yeah, no breaded eggplant. Because if you get often when I order pizza, I get it without cheese because of a non-dairy version.
Right.
If you get breaded eggplant on it, it adds a lot of substance to it. It's quite nice.
Oh, I didn't even know you were lactose intolerant, so I'm learning all sorts
Fuck
about you
you.
today. I swear
Don't
you've
know
never
shit
told me
about
that
me.
before. I swear you've never told me. All right, I'm gonna just move on from being a bad friend. Um, how are you for top threes?
Top three?
Yeah, you good at like picking your top threes of
I will
things?
do
Or?
my best.
Okay.
I'll do my best not to overthink.
So I'm gonna try and say the th as well. Top three films.
Um. Okay. Can I say Miyazaki and just kind of like as an umbrella
I don't even
for
know what
one of
that is.
you don't know who Miyazaki is?
No.
Oh, potato. Oh no. You know the movie Spirited Away? Castle in the Sky,
Have
House
you
Moving Castle.
have you got
Something like
nothing
that.
from watching these things? I
Oh
have not known
God.
anything anyone has ever said to me in
Oh,
one of
that's
these
so
things.
sad. Okay. Well, Hayao Miyazaki does a lot of animated films. Did a lot of animated films. Um, that I'm sure a lot of people watching here will know. I think you would enjoy some of them. Potato. I think we should all do a watch party. Um,
Mm.
yeah. Fuck off. You'll. I think you would enjoy it. Uh, I'm gonna say from his movies though, we'll just say Kiki's Delivery Service. That's a story about a witch who leaves home when she's 13 to go find herself. I loved that movie. Okay, sorry. Do top three quickly. Kiki's Delivery Service. Wow, they're two movies. Um,
It's hard, isn't it?
it is. I'm not like a big movie watcher for the most
I mean,
part.
I would assume you'd have some horror films
The
in there, but
Shining.
oh, okay, here we go. Yeah,
Um, and
which I've never seen either, by the way.
you would definitely like that. You like serial killers and stuff. I think you would like the psychological.
Well, I don't like serial killers. Like, I don't
Potato
like them
loves
as
serial
people.
killers.
They're dickhead people.
Oh yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
interesting. I'm just gonna put that out there. Okay.
And I'm just blanking on what movies I've even seen in my life.
Toy Story.
I like Toy Story. I mean, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it.
Finding out a lot about you today.
God, what movies have I seen? Another horror movie. Just pick another horror movie, Choco.
Wow, you're actually worse
okay.
than Wiz at
Midsummer.
this.
Midsummer.
Midsummer. What's that about?
It's basically about a cult. It's a great movie. It's a horror movie, but it kind of turns a lot of horror tropes on its head.
Oh, okay.
Everything, instead of being quite dark, is really, really bright, and that's kind of makes it scary. You can see everything. Um, really good movie. I'm actually gonna be watching it later
Oh,
today with Moon, so we can see it
okay.
finally. It's a
Cool.
really good movie. Yeah.
Okay, well, we got there in the end.
Great.
I've
I'd
not.
probably be better with other topics. Movies
Well,
I'm not.
we'll soon find out, won't we?
Mhm.
So top three bands slash artists.
Okay. Apocalyptica. Uh, we'll say Enya to
Oh
get
my
a couple
god,
of. Wow. Wow.
what is happening?
Wow. What do you have against Enya? She's a lovely Irish woman.
Uh-huh.
Um.
I can't believe you chose Enya as a top three.
Well, I like her.
That's what matters.
I like metal in general.
Hmm.
We'll say Anal Nathrak.
Yeah, I know them. Mm.
Yeah, they're British actually.
Oh, are they?
Mhm.
I don't know them personally. Like, Britain's quite big.
You guys don't all know each other?
No, weirdly enough.
I was hoping you were going to introduce me to Greg Davies at the end of this interview.
I wish I could
disappointed.
introduce myself to Greg Davies. It's not going to happen. So if we move on to top three books.
Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk. Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk. And
We've potentially found your favorite author, at least.
yeah, no, he is my favorite author for sure. He's the one who wrote Fight Club.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a book.
It was. Yeah. And then we'll say I love short stories by Edgar Allan Poe. Uh, the Rue Morgue, I think, is my favorite short story by him.
Okay. Cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a feeling you would kind of own the books one.
Thanks.
You're a bit of a
Is
bookworm.
it the glasses?
Yeah, automatically you wear glasses, you read books. It's that's just natural, isn't it? I thought everyone knew that. You might struggle with the next one though, because it's
Okay.
top three games.
Okay. Soma. Outer Wilds.
Oh yeah.
And okay, not Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds. Weapons we've been playing recently. And Ocarina of Time / Majora's
Okay.
Mask. We'll say Ocarina.
How long ago did you play Outer Wilds?
I think I played it when it came out in 2019.
Okay. Right. I didn't even know you'd played it. Although I feel like you might have mentioned it once in Weapon Stream that you played it.
Yeah, I have been talking to him about it like for a while. Like I'm sure he had other people, but I was one of the ones encouraging him. Like, please play it. You love this game. It's just such a weapon game as well. Like just the
Yeah,
types
he's
of
a big
problem
nerd,
solving.
isn't he?
Yeah. Thank you for breaking it down.
That's what I'm here for. So what? Wait, what was it? Outer Wilds, Ocarina of Time. What was the first one? Soma.
Soma, yeah.
How did you get on with that? Because that's a horror game, obviously.
It is. Yeah, I loved how it made me think. Like, it was a great horror experience, but then just the story made me like kind of question what it means to be alive. I suppose I think that's what most people probably get from the game. Did you see it?
I've seen Mayhem play it, I think.
Yeah. Did you get the whole story?
Not really. No.
It's a really good.
I've heard
It's,
good things.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend it. It's just like mind fucky. Yeah, I won't spoil it, but the end blew me away. So
Okay.
just, yeah.
Can I just say I'm kind of surprised you didn't put Dead Space in your top three.
Yeah, I loved that game, and I still love it. I think that a lot of part of my love for it is nostalgia, and then the satisfying crunch when you smash the necromorphs with your feet.
Whatever
Thank
does
you
it for
again
you.
for Yeah, that really meant a lot to me that you got.
I mean,
Um,
when you said, and that was one of the games you and your old man played quite a lot of, wasn't it? So
yeah, yeah, that was a big one for us. That we when the third one came out, we played the first and second back to back over like a 5 day period. We basically like didn't leave the couch. We were becoming one with the fabric. And my mom came in. She's really worried about us. She forced us to go out and go grocery shopping with her. And both of us in the grocery store were just such like in a dead space daze that we were still like in the game in our heads. And so we passed by the butcher section. There's chunks of meat and stuff. And both of us at the same time were like, "Oh, we had to stomp it for ammo. Like we had to." We're acting like it's fucking necromorphs. We had to go stomp.
I love that you
And then I saw
nerded
one of
out.
those. Yeah, I saw one of those price check scanners, and I thought like, "Oh, we had to go save," because it looked like a little save station that you have in the game, and just it was probably a good thing that she brought us out at that point. I think any longer it would have been past the point of no return. I would have been Isaac in my brain until now.
It's always good
So
when you enjoy a game that much, though, because and then you
yeah.
start thinking about it in a real world experience.
hmm Do you have games that have done that for you?
I do, but I can't think of what it was on top of my head. There was definitely one, but I can't remember what it was.
Well, you didn't really prepare for this interview, now did
Nah, well, I wasn't prepared for being questioned, so.
you?
So, if we move on to streaming now, because obviously that's why we're here, is what brought us together. Um, so I want to find out more about your streams and you as a streamer.
Yes, I
Firstly,
stream.
I kind of. Well, you do stream apparently. Yeah, I haven't seen one in about 12 years, but I brought in a new question last time I did this about point redemptions, because you got a couple of interesting, well, at least one definitely unique, interesting point redemption.
Mm.
How did you come up with those?
Um, so I was just thinking about different ways to make it more interactive. Uh, like I I'm not sure what inspired me specifically, but um, Pig Latin is apparently an American thing, and me and a lot of other people, I suppose, probably have been doing it since they were kids. Um, and I think it just popped into my head one day. Like people would probably think it was entertaining for them and
Mm.
terrible for me to force me to speak in Pig Latin. And of course, people would you know s- if someone did Pig Latin, someone else would do ASMR or vice versa. Just the second, so we did like
Yeah.
it's just the whole time. Just like, oh fuck. I didn't expect that. I should have, but I didn't even think about that being a thing. But yeah, I was just thinking about different ways to make it so people like doing things that have an effect on the streamer
Yeah.
and what the streamer's doing and influencing it because it makes you feel like you're there and a part of it. So just a easy way to do that, I think.
Can you give us a sentence now in Pigland?
Urshe, Atwe Ude, Uye Antwe, Ime Ute Ase.
A translation, please.
Sure, what do you want me to say?
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay. All right. All right. It's
I
just
haven't done it in a little while.
it trips me out because it's just like the words are kind of backwards in a way.
Yeah,
It's just odd.
yeah, you take the first, so potato, you take the first letter, P, you put it at the end, and then add an A sound, so it's potato pay instead of potato.
I just don't understand why it's a thing.
It started in the 1800s, apparently, as a way for, like, kids just came up with it as a way to talk to each other without adults understanding what they're saying.
It's like a secret language.
Yeah,
I mean, the origins of it are interesting.
since you Brits don't know it, we also could use it to infiltrate your country. You
Feel
never know
free.
what we were up to.
It's well, you can infiltrate us now if you want. There's fuck all here. Nothing worth infiltrating for. I'd like to know also how you came up with your username.
Yeah, so it was my Xbox gamer tag from a long time ago. It just came up because I have a friend from Ethiopia who speaks Swahili, and she would teach me random Swahili words, and I just thought the language sounded cool.
Mm.
And so I remember I was making my gamer tag, and I was thinking, what do I want it to be? Because I really don't like having numbers and stuff in my. I want it to be like a unique word.
Yeah.
Um, and so I was looking up different words in Swahili, and like the first few that I looked up were already taken as names. I was like, damn it. So then I just looked up chocolate. I don't know why. I just looked up the word what's chocolate in Swahili. It said chokoleti. I was like, oh, this has like a little ring to it. I like it. So I just chose it. I just thought it sounded neat. It sounds like chocolate, but it's got a little bit different. I like the way it's spelled. It has a K in it. First name starts with a K, so I like that as well. So
Mhm.
yeah, I just it abbreviates well
Yeah.
as Choco. So um,
Well, some
yeah,
people
and then
call you Choko as well.
yeah, technically it's pronounced Choco because it's like chocolate, but either is fine.
It's
Call me
I
whatever
think
you like.
I do remember you telling me before about that, and it's I find it quite interesting how people come up with their names, and obviously yours is
Yeah,
quite unique, so it's an
yeah.
interesting story.
Yours used to be Louis T, right?
Yeah, it's
Which
well
is
exciting,
just
isn't
it's like Bill Chamber.
it? Yeah, that man. I don't know how he came up with that name. Fucking tough that is, isn't it?
What made you come up with the potato zone?
It's because my aim in video games is shit. So obviously potato aim,
Mhm.
and then I don't know. I don't know where I got the zone part from. It's probably like the Twilight Zone, but with
Oh,
potatoes. I would imagine that's
okay.
the link I made. But
When
being
I hear
old now, I forget
an
how I
old
come up
man
with
in his
stuff.
early 30s. Shit. When I think of zone, I think of like, I think it's because I think I went to a like a laser tag place at something. It was called something zone. So I think of like the first time I read your username, the potato zone. Like my mental image was people in a room with little neon vests on throwing potatoes at each other.
I like that one better. I think we'll go with that
Like
one instead.
this battle arena. You just lump potatoes at each other.
I just love it.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Just
which potato do you think would be the best sort of ammo, best weapon, and why is it a russet?
I don't know what that is. You what? It's probably an
Jesus
American
Christ!
thing. Probably an American thing, innit?
Having different varieties of potatoes.
Wait, let me.
American
All
thing.
right, I'll Google it. What's it
Right,
called?
russet, russet. Russet. Russet
I see.
potato.
Okay.
They're the big chunky boys.
Oh, okay. So it's literally just a type of potato.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be something like, you know, how you have like wedges or you have like
Oh,
potato
like a
croquettes. So I
style
was
of
expecting it to be a way that it was cooked or cut or whatever.
No, no. I was thinking raw potatoes would be painful.
Raw,
Raw,
I mean,
raw.
having any kind
Raw.
of potato of that size is probably going
Mashed
to hurt.
potatoes wouldn't hurt.
Always got an answer, ain't you, Choco? I'm just gonna move on. I'll move on
All
from
right.
that. One thing I have another note here in capital letters is you do emotes for Twitch.
I do.
Obviously you've done my emotes. Choco did this lovely heart emote right here, among many others. When did you start doing people's emotes on Twitch?
I did my own first, and then I did yours second. You're the first person who asked me to um, do one, and I really enjoyed it. I've gotten to work on some done all of Moon's recently. We did like a overhaul, so they're all the same style. Did one of Masher's, did Lamia's, did a couple other people, and it's been a lot of fun. Really enjoy it. It's like, to me it tickles kind of like the same, or scratches the same itch. Sorry, tickles. It's like ice
tickles.
sculpture. It tickles me. Uh,
All right,
it,
Elmo.
um, just getting to be really creative with them is a lot of fun. and getting to show it to someone after it's done, like, oh, I love it. Like, I love that feeling. So,
And you do really good work as well.
thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
as is, I probably will have some of your work shown as we speak through it, because I think people need to see how good your work is.
No, I appreciate that. It's a lot of fun. I like getting to work in all the different styles and stuff. Obviously, my own channel emotes are very, like, I guess, sort of serious looking in a way. Like, they're supposed to be ironic, but their, like, style is, it's not cartoony really.
Mhm.
And then, but getting to work on everyone's different styles has been a lot of fun. And through it, I've gotten people asking for things even outside of Twitch. Like, there's a Twitch user, Awesome Prime One. I did a bunch of art for him for his YouTube channel now, because he liked my emotes and stuff. So cool. It's funny how you find different people who want projects.
Did you do his banner or something? Or
No, so he does, like, video game reviews and skits, and so he wanted a little cartoon character. So I did 21 different stills of this character with different mouth movements and different emotions and stuff, so that he can animate this character talking when he voices over for them.
okay.
And yeah, the character is called the Spirit of Halloween, and so he wasn't sure what he wanted it to be. He imagined to be a pumpkin involved, so I did little pumpkin with little orange bat wings and little vine feet sticking out of a cauldron. Like, he's got this big witch hat on, so he's just this little dude who's trying to make himself look big with his big fat cauldron pants and his big hat. And I had a lot of fun doing it because he wanted to be cute, but Halloweeny. So I really loved working on that.
That's cool. I didn't know you'd done that.
Yeah, I'll show you some.
Yeah, please do. So do you feel like you'd like to carry on doing emotes for people? And
Yeah, I really love it. I have a blast. Just, everyone's style is so different, and I like being able to, especially when I know you guys. I think it's fun because I can tailor it to, just knowing you, what kind of things like,
yeah.
stylistically, and what represents you as a channel better.
Mm-hmm.
That is very exciting uh, to me. Like, I loved working on Lamia's. Like, she knew she wanted ravens, and she wanted to be cute. So I tried to make them look a little bit like her. I did like her eye makeup similar to she does, and I did a little nose ring on the raven. Raven's birds don't actually wear, and it's not really where the nose is. Like, the nose is up here on a raven, and I have the piercing down here. So it's not anatomically correct, but
I
but I
figure
really
okay.
enjoyed that.
Do you think you'll have you ever considered doing like people's BR back screens, or what if they asked you, would you do it?
Like they're like this.
Yeah, like the whole screen. Yeah, like is that
Yeah,
something you would do?
yeah, definitely. I that is close to what I was doing at MIT, like, just layout for things. Obviously, much different subject matter, but I feel very comfortable with doing page layout. And, like, I was that kid in the group projects growing up. Didn't want anyone to touch the poster or the PowerPoint except for me, because everyone would fuck it up. So you make sure everything looks right. So yes, that is definitely something to do for people if they were interested.
That's cool, because I'd hoped that you would start branching out with it a little bit from emotes, because I mean your work is just really good, and
Thank you.
you can, it's easy as fuck for you to just do an emote, let alone like you could probably do like a BR back screen in the course of like an hour or something, don't you?
I would love. It's so cool working on custom projects for people. Like I said, like, if I did that for you guys, just knowing what things to throw in for everyone, be a lot of fun.
Mm.
I loved for Dave. He commissioned me to do that Christmas jumper.
Yeah.
He has with the little shark eating the candy cane. He asked for an ugly Christmas sweater, and I had a lot of fun working on that, like thinking about like, you know, what does Dave like? What would Dave want in this? And just doing it for your friends like that. It's so much fun.
Yeah, definitely. If you so you haven't really done, I suppose, was this Awesome Prime technically doing something for a stranger? I mean, you knew them, but it wasn't the same connection.
I met him through Moon's streams, and we've chatted a bit. And he doesn't stream, but we played a couple rounds of DVD together
Right.
before. So I felt like I picked up on what kind of person he is, what kind of things he would like pretty quickly. That's something I had to do with the ice sculpture as well, as like just kind of like analyze someone's personality kind of quickly over the phone,
Hmm.
to kind of get a feel for them. Um, and yeah, so it's not quite the same. I don't know him as well as you guys.
Is it much trickier to do it for someone you don't know? Is it that much trickier?
If I don't know them at all, if I don't get to have a conversation with them, then yeah, unless they're good at articulating what they
Yeah.
like. But if if I just get a few words and I don't get to speak to them, then it is a bit harder because I don't, I can just kind of go off of what I think they would like, what I think I would like situation. But um, yeah, it definitely helps.
Yeah, you got the creative. You just got the means to be a bit more creative when you know who the person is. Yeah, like you say.
Yeah, yeah, you know what boundaries you can push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing you, there'll be many. So I want to find out now. Obviously, I would assume the reason you got into streaming was because COVID hit, and
Yeah.
it's the same as everyone else. You
Yeah.
couldn't go out, so you decided to stream, and
Yep.
for your social needs.
Yeah. I've been more social honestly during quarantine than I was before. I before, when I was working, I wouldn't really go out much, or hang out, I guess, with people much, or even chat with friends as much as I do now. It's been wonderful, meeting everyone in Restream. I was IRL friends with a lot of them um, before, and started Twitch really because of Weapon. At the beginning of quarantine, Bill might have talked about this in his interview, but at the beginning of quarantine, one of their friends lost their house in a fire. Um, can't think of a better time for that to happen.
No, right?
Um, and Weapon had a fundraiser stream, um, and everyone got involved. And I had never really thought about Twitch before that. I think we talked about this before. Like, I had a certain impression of what Twitch was. I thought it was very like spastic people with funny colored hair yelling at games, and kids chatting, and people giving you know I saw things on YouTube about people donating $10,000 to the streamer, and it just seemed very kind of shallow, just from my narrow view of what streaming was.
There is some of that out there. Like,
oh yeah, I hadn't considered how lovely it can be, because I love video games, and I would think I would have gotten on the ball a bit sooner, but um, yeah, he did that stream, and it was a lot of fun, and everyone there was so supportive. Their friend that had just gone through something terrible, but I also saw like how much fun just watching Weapons stream was. I love Weapons streams. I
Yeah.
always have. He used to do Tuesday, Thursday, and that's like the only reason I knew what day of the week it was, because recently unemployed, just pandemic, very confused all the time. It's like, oh, it's Tuesday, it's Thursday, Weapons on. It's like 7 p.m. It's had like a little like, it was something to kind of like normalize the weird situation, which was nice. And loves how interactive he makes his streams.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, like back then it was mostly the changing the color in the room, but that really tickled me the first time I saw that we could change the color in the room. I have so much power. It just makes me feel so like I was just so excited about it. And he's always a lot of fun. And so then I made an account, obviously, to watch. And I had no
Hmm.
intention still of doing it myself until several months later. Then I started streaming myself.
Yeah, because it was
And it's been a
August you
lot of fun.
started, right? Around August time.
I think maybe June, July. I think I had done a couple before that, but just to kind of test things out. And then I didn't start doing it more regularly until August.
Right.
Yeah. Um, and then I'll be back soon. But I had very,
Better
very
be.
busy December, and I just moved, and I'm just about all set up to start again.
Right. To get back on that grind. Um,
Yes.
what do you hope to achieve from Twitch? Are you just hoping to build a community, a friendship, or do you want to go further than
Yeah.
that?
No, not someone who is interested in trying to sort of, grind for a partner, as they say. Really, just would like to make. I have a lot of things that I'm working on to kind of do a little bit of a channel overhaul in a way. It'll still be very similar in some ways, but adding some things and kind of just creating its own feel, I think. Um, so just a place for like I think my favorite streams are just ones that it's a fun place to hang out,
Yeah.
um, and it has a uniqueness to it. Um, like all my favorite streams, they're just like you just enjoy being there and just chilling and interacting whatever ways the stream lets you interact, and just want to be able to do that in Choco version.
Yeah. And to be fair, all your streams have always been enjoyable, and I think a big part of people's streams are the viewers as well, because
Yeah,
you need to have that the chat and the banter and that between viewers as much as the streamer, and I think we always had that in your channel, to be honest. So these extra things, while they will give you more, you'll still be the same, great streamer that you were.
yeah, it's
And
very sweet.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
butter you up so you don't murder me at any point.
yeah, I think I'm noticing that. Yeah, I like trying to keep it casual and keeping it feel like, you know, we're playing a game together and we're chatting and, you know, the banter and just being silly,
Yeah,
I think is important to me. I don't care for streams where the streamer takes themselves too seriously.
yeah,
That's not my cup of tea. So I definitely like, I that's another reason why I always do backseating allowed as one of my tags. I know a lot of streamers don't like backseating, but it's not that I want people to come in and be like, you turn left here and then you turn right here,
mm,
like that kind of thing. I just want it to feel like we're playing the game together, because I think that's my most fond memories of games, like growing up playing with my dad and my brother. We'd all put our own thinking caps and play the game together and try to figure it out. And I don't want people to feel like they can't suggest things, especially if they haven't played the game before. Yeah, I personally like that.
yeah. It's like everyone's sitting on a couch and
Exactly.
and
Yeah, or in
and
this case,
pointing
it'd be on
stuff
my
out.
bed. So
Ooh. um, do you remember what your first game was that you streamed?
yes. So I mean, I streamed a game from my Xbox before I had webcam or mic just to test to see if it worked. I don't
Okay.
think that counts. The first game
No.
I properly streamed, set up with a webcam, um, was called Night Blights. It's a little indie game, of course. Uh,
The indie queen.
um, and basically it's Monday through Friday. Each night gets harder. You're this kid who's like 2, and for some reason is in charge of protecting this house from these little critters called night blights. And your parents and your sister are asleep, and your brother is asleep, and they're just trying to come in through the vents. They're trying to come in through the fridge. They're trying to like come in and kill your family, and you have to go around the house and like repeatedly shut things, close things, feed them toys and stuff. They're under the bed. If you feed them toys, keep them at bay. So it's basically just like constantly running around the house, making sure everything. and I still haven't beaten the game. I've gotten to the Thursday. I've gotten to Friday. I haven't beaten Friday yet. It's quite difficult.
Right.
That's where I have that jump scare where I knock my webcam over.
Oh, that was from that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was trying to take care of a night flight up on the ceiling that was coming down above the baby crib, and the one of them jumped up at me from underneath the baby crib, and I was not expecting it. I didn't even think I was in like the range where it could like could jump at me there because I was like next to a chair, and I must have been like a pixel too far in to the crib, and it scared me so bad that what happened was is that I hit my cord, and the cord was awkwardly kind of wrapped around the webcam. I think great at cable management. And so
Okay.
that's why I didn't hit my webcam cord.
It like
just
dragged
threw
it
it off.
down.
Yeah. So I used to have. Right now I have my webcam set up. It's in between. It's on top of my monitors. In between, I used to have a really cute little setup with a tissue box and 2 books where I would put my little
You gotta do what you
professional
gotta
streamer.
do, yeah.
And I would have my 5 Martha Stewart home living candles to illuminate my face. Only 4 of them worked. But right now I'm just using the light of my computer.
Which was the first so was that a horror game technically, that one? So I was gonna ask which was the first horror game proper you played on stream, but it was, I guess that counts.
It is a horror game. I play after that.
Did you do Resi 7 on stream?
I did. I played it as quickly as I could. I did my own version of a speed run. I think I beat it in like 2 hours and 55 minutes or something like that. Which is not, over an hour off from real speed run time.
Still better than what I could do.
I played the DLC for it a few times. I think I've done more than the base game. I play mostly horror. I started out doing mostly kind of indie games that were a bit spooky, but I think the first like big horror game I played, like as in terms of being a big game, was Dead Space. Thanks to the Potato Zone. So,
never heard of him.
Yeah, no, he's all right.
So I'd like to ask people how they juggle real life with streaming, but it's a difficult question.
They give up on streaming.
It's a difficult question now where we're in COVID because people aren't going to their jobs as much. So I will kind of change the question to how do you combat fatigue or generally the not feeling up to streaming? Say you got a stream on that day, you've got it planned out and that.
I think so. Obviously, I haven't streamed in a little while. But when I was streaming more regularly, it was 2 or 3 times a week. And if I really wasn't feeling up to it that day for whatever reason, I would just move it. I think it's better to not force yourself, especially since for me, like I'm not someone who's grinding for partner and is trying to be professional about it. Because if you're not having a good time, people pick up on that.
Yeah.
It's just so I think it's okay to give yourself a break for however long you need. It's something that I think you should be having fun doing, if for nothing else, then because people can't pick up on it if you're not having fun. So I think that's what I would say is just do what makes you feel the best. Take care of yourself. Sometimes I get that. Sometimes you can't socialize that day or that minute or whatever. You're just not feeling yourself, or you're feeling exhausted or sad, or whatever it is. So
I mean, so say I'm about to start streaming. I'm like a brand new streamer. I was going to do my first stream, I don't know, tomorrow. What tips would you give me, like from maybe any problems you've had in your streams or what you've learned?
I was so nervous when I started, even though it was just my friends and just these wonderful people that I know weren't coming in to chastise me and make fun of me. I just so nervous though that I was having trouble reading what people were saying while I was playing. Like I was just like in a nervous daze. So I would say to, remember that people aren't there to criticize you unless it's in a funny way, but it's not you know um, it can be scary to kind of open yourself up.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd be someone who would stream because I'm very much someone who doesn't like uh you know if I'm at a party and someone takes out a camera, I'm in the other room, that kind of thing. Like
Right.
uh, I like talking to people one on one a lot, but like the idea of having multiple people watching me and I can't see them, I
Yeah.
get very existentially about it. Like, wow, they can see me and they're forming thoughts and opinions about me like actively, and I can't do anything about it. So it's just like, don't get in your head too much about it and just kind of try to take it more casually. Say,
It's very easy
so
to overthink.
yeah,
Also,
it's
do you have an eye next to you to the left of you right now? There's like a glowing eyeball.
that is a nightlight.
I've been meaning to ask for ages.
Just waiting for it to blink.
And it's just like, I feel like it's staring at me.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little nightlight. It looks very ominous
It
on the
does,
webcam. It looks
yeah.
less so in real life.
Okay, I just wanted to check that you didn't have any monsters like peeking out from behind something.
It's a night blade. Do you want me to put my hand over it so you feel more comfortable?
No, it's fine,
Can make
honestly.
it blink here.
I don't want you to get arm cramp or anything.
Oh, heaven forbid.
How do you approach raids, Choco? Do you have an approach to your raids?
To sending them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see who's on, and I inevitably will always go for someone I'm friends with first. And if I'm friends with two people that are on, then whoever's playing a game that more resonates with games that I play. Well, actually, I should say I factor in two things. I think my friendship with someone and what game they're playing, and if
Mhm.
it aligns with the type of game I've been playing. Because even if we have some Wii streamers in my chat, like I know they'll be happy sent out to anyone in Wii stream. But if I have people who aren't part of Wii stream, I get some people who are just horror nerds or indie game nerds or whatever. I want them to not feel like I want them to feel like maybe they can enjoy where they're going. So if
Yeah.
they at least have the game in common, if someone's playing any kind of horror game or Resident Evil game or whatever, I tend to lean towards rating to them. Just mostly to. I think it would be a better rate as well because more people will follow this person, because we stream already follow each other.
Yeah.
So if I rate Bill Chamber, I know if Restream's going to start following Bill Chamber, 90% of them would have already been in Bill's stream if he's
Yeah.
streaming at the same time. So, but if he's playing RE7 or whatever, he might get some new followers from people who were with me for the horror. So I think that's how I do it.
Have you raided anyone? Well, I assume you have, but have you raided many people that you don't know?
I've rated a couple people that I don't know.
Did it backfire?
I've never had that. I've been in raids where it did backfire, but I've never really had that. I've had people that you raid into them and they weren't super exciting or whatever, but it wasn't wasn't an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been in raids where you get there and the person's a little bit weird and not the fun kind of way. So so I've definitely experienced that, and I think I feel more comfortable, knowing someone before I raid over to them. But I do like meeting new random people. Like I haven't done it recently, but I used to like go check out new people a lot and chat with them and just get to know more people, and that's a lot of fun.
It's hard to find the time, isn't it?
I met you because you rated me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I
and I was
took the
random to
gamble.
you at the time.
Yeah. And that paid off.
Yeah.
I'd watch you fish limbs out of the ocean or something.
Honestly, probably couldn't have been a better first impression.
Yeah, that was the perfect first impression, to be honest.
Yeah, I said everything you need to know.
It prepared me for Choco. How do you cope when you receive a sizable raid, to say like 20, 30 people? Do you have like
a heart attack?
A little bit of
I
panic.
honestly, yeah, no, I think, each time it's happened, I've gotten better. But also my rate alert is just very startling. It's this boom, boom sound, and then it's just like, I'm usually playing a horror game, so I'm already like, and then that plays. It's a jump scare for me really bad. The worst one I ever got was the only time Moon raided me. I literally thought I was going to die. Like, when your chest is not feeling right, you're like, I think this is it. That's what I got. I was like, I'm on camera. I can't act like this is it. I have to. The show must go on. I jump dead before I start acting like that. So I was playing Phasmo, and it was in the beginning of Phasmophobia.
Okay.
So it was still very scary to me because I'm still getting used to the game.
Yep.
And so I was terrified playing with Sweat and Coco, I think. I was absolutely terrified. And then Moon came in with like a 38-person raid. And so the panic of a big raid, along with the startle of my heart, I thought I was going to die. And I was just like, hi everyone, it's Chokoleti.
I'm having a
Thanks,
heart
Moon.
attack.
This is it. Goodbye, cruel world.
Thank you for being
Oh,
here for my
God.
final ever stream. I wish
Oh,
I
that
was
was a
there for
bang.
that. I don't think I
Oh,
saw that.
so scary. I don't think anyone clipped it. It's just oof. It was, yeah, very scary. But yeah, no, I mean, I've gotten a couple of big raids from Queen Joy as well, and you just you're like, oh, all these new people are suddenly looking at me. Just like, oh no, oh no. So yeah, I do get a bit nervous.
Which is natural, but I mean,
Yeah,
I think you hide it quite well. To be honest,
thank you.
I haven't noticed you like freak out really
That's good.
blatantly or anything.
We try really hard.
So as you know, I ask people to put questions forward for the person I'm interviewing. I have a few for you. Firstly, Naz wants to know, well, what got you into graphic design?
Oh, I didn't think she would ask me that. Teasing Naz, because I saw the question. Yeah, so I didn't have any time to think about this one. I so for was into art my whole life. Thought I was going to go to art school. Wound up going to school for business because it's cheaper.
Okay.
I thought I can market my artwork if I have a business degree. Art school is expensive. Don't really regret my decision in hindsight, which is good. But thought I wanted to be an animated movie director. Like I just really liked animated films, like 2D, not 3D. So I was really into more the creative, illustrative side of art. Um, though like I was saying before, in hindsight, I was really into graphic design through school projects and needing everything to look just perfect. I would like write a lot of my own stories and then like design the covers and the insides and stuff up fonts and everything. I was really into that. But it wasn't until I think I was in college and just leaving college that I really was like, oh, I could do graphic design as a career. So I yeah, MIT was my first proper graphic design role.
So you've always had an interest in it?
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved good design, whether it's architecture, graphic design, product design, etc. It all really interests me. Just things being well put together
Mm-hmm.
really excites me. I think you know I just always loved it, and I think that graphic design is one of those things that it it comes more easily to me than other things. I suppose just like being able to look at a page and where things ought to be and how big they ought to be. I think
Gotcha.
yeah, if something's slightly out of place, like a pixel out of place, I feel like it jumps out to me. Like it's like it might as well be highlighted. It's fortunately one of those things that I think I do all right with. So
Just means you got an eye for it,
yeah, I suppose so.
perfectionist.
Little bit. Sometimes that's not a great thing, but
I suppose if you've got like a time limit to get something done, and you keep changing it because you're not happy.
yeah, exactly.
Stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So this question now from glitchy rich. It kind of touches on some of the stuff we have spoken about. But he wants to know, why do you think people stream, and what does streaming mean for you personally?
I think people stream for different reasons. I think a lot of people are like me, where it's to kind of build a little environment that very much reflects your personality, where you can interact with your friends, interact with games you really like, and just create this like nice space where you can kind of develop yourself personally and also foster those friendships. Um, and I think other people do it for money. I think other people do it for attention. I think as there's a million
There's a lot of
reasons.
different reasons, yeah.
Yeah, I would say most people when we stream are the former
Mhm.
reason though. But and everyone can be a little mix of this, that, and the other thing. So, um, what does it mean for me? Yeah, that the first one. I excited to get back into it
Yeah.
in a while. Um, but yeah, it's just being able to create a space where you can express yourself and have fun with your friends, and it feels really nice when I think you look at it like that.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it takes a lot of the pressure off. It's like a fun creative outlet in that way, and a social outlet.
So for you personally, it's building friendships and just, being able to hang out with your friends at the end of the day.
Yeah, and being able to be creative with things. I've been working on a lot of. I told you, I've been working in Audacity a lot on a lot of different
Oh,
things, and that's been a lot of fun.
being all
So,
fancy now.
Yeah.
The next question comes from Mayhem. He wants to know, if there was one ending to a game that you wish you could change, which game would it be and why?
Ooh, change.
She also added,
This
what would you want the ending to be as well?
right. There's definitely a lot of games that I feel like at the end it just like they ran out of time, budget, or something. It's a little lackluster. Um, but
Is there a particular one that stands out?
I think in general, and I understand why they had to, but I think that the one that disappointed me the most is just Zelda games in general. I love Zelda games, but at the end, after you beat Ganon, most of the time you can't, like, I think Breath of the Wild was different, but you can't go back out into the world prior, or you
Okay.
can't go back out into the world after you defeat it. So it's just like the game ends, and if you boot it back up again, you're right at the end. You can't.
Right.
And I would love, or would have loved, if you could have gone back through the world now that it's peaceful, and just still get to interact and see people's reactions to this big thing that you did, and you don't want it to end, kind of
Yeah.
thing. I can see the pros and cons to that, but I think that the biggest letdown for me, I remember vividly when I beat Twilight Princess, one of the Zelda games, that I really really loved, and then you just couldn't. But it makes sense because, spoilers, Midna leaves at the end, and if you go back out, you won't have Midna anymore. You don't have enemies anymore. What are you going to do in this world? But I
It's
think it
going to
would be a
wander
cool.
aimlessly.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have enjoyed that. It might have been anticlimactic for some people, but when the world, when it's more than just like a game with objectives, it's like a living, breathing world to you that you care about. I think that that's a big letdown when you're not allowed to kind of revisit it.
Yeah. No, I agree, because there's still a lot of open world games now that don't let you go back into the world after the game's finished.
Yeah. And I mean, it does mean a lot more programming and stuff for them, but selfishly, I still would like that.
It would be a nice touch. I get where you're coming from. Right, so Weapon has a question. And I'm going to read it exactly as Weapon wrote it to me, okay? Because he's just he's weird. Hello, Chokoleti. This is Weapon, capital letters. My only question for you is, What is your favorite video game song?
Ooh.
Just like the way he started it. Hello, Chokoleti. This is Weapon.
I thought he was gonna go on about ketchup or something. Video game song. Okay. Pray, the opening title music.
Okay.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's like this guitar. Acoustic guitar. It's just gorgeous.
Oh,
Have you played Pray?
I think I did try it once. I don't recall the music though. It was a long time ago.
The title screen music is just so beautiful. I love it so much. There's a lot of video game music that really
I think
does a lot for me. But I think I would have to.
I think he was kind of hoping you would say Bug Sex or something like that. Does that count?
I like Weapon's version of Bug Sex way more than the Bug Snacks song. I'm not a fan of Bug Snacks, and I know it's very dangerous for me to admit to the mystery community. It's not my type of jam. I don't hate it, but it's not my thing. But,
The game itself looks trash.
Oh yeah, I've seen. I guess I'll sweat play it for a little bit. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my kind of game either.
It looks weird.
Not a fan.
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
So the final question, and right, so this is from an anonymous person. I'm not allowed to say who this person is.
So it's Mudge.
Okay.
Go on.
I'm not allowed to say. You can see my OBS right now, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So just confirm everyone. She can see my screen.
Oh.
If you hate ketchup so much, why ddid you say this? And then I have evidence. I have evidence right here. Chokoleti. Of you saying that.
Wow. I love putting
So
ketchup
come
on
on.
my body.
Come on.
Apparently.
What's the deal?
Well,
Leo.
I mean, just because it's a trash food doesn't mean you can't use it as a moisturizer. People put mayonnaise on their scalp when they're trying to get rid of lice, but it doesn't mean you have to like the taste of mayonnaise. So, fuck you, Weapon. Sorry, Mudge. I thought that you were going to be anonymous.
You knew it was Weapon, okay?
Somehow.
What I love most about this is the way it's typed in the name. It's just like
Chokoleti.
It's like a fucking 5-year-old's written it down. I love it so much. I had to save it for last.
You even got the color right. That's
it's dedication.
details.
Dedication to the cause.
Yeah. It really is.
So we're done. I've run out of questions. So basically, I'll just go on to say like thank you for taking part in this. I appreciate everyone that takes part in this because not everyone likes to be grilled with questions about stuff. It's not easy to be put on the spot. But you did well with it, so.
Yeah, all right.
I appreciate it, and I think do you have any idea when you're actually going to be streaming again? Any plan in place?
Should be by the end of the month.
Okay.
Yes, and I am planning on doing Tuesdays, Fridays, Sundays because I think schedule makes it easier.
Important,
but like I said before, days that you really aren't up for it, just don't do it. But days that I plan to be on are Tuesdays, Fridays, Sundays. I just like the sounds of the days.
Do you know which game you're going to start with?
I will be doing more horror indies.
Okay.
Some more big horror titles that I have in my library that I've yet to play. Got Dead Space 2 and 3 and Outlast, and I promised Coke that I would try to speedrun RE7 some more. And then I have another surprise game that I've been working on modding to get it to be a regular thing. So looking forward to that.
You've left us on a cliffhanger.
Yes. Tune in to find out more.
Just roommate in it, really. Is there anything further you'd like to add? Obviously, people, I'll stream this in a few days. It'll probably be on the Wednesday. Anything you want to say to anyone?
Yes. Fuck you, Weapon. Pants Feet is trash and shit, and all of you play it are bad and should feel bad. And
Is that directed at me?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever played it.
I have a text from Mudge for you, Potato.
Oh Christ!
Um, and he wants to know what got you into interviewing.
Why am I being quit? This isn't how it works.
Oh well, I mean, too late. We already asked the question. So, what made you want to interview us?
When I started it, like over a year ago, because there was another community I was part of, who I thought, well, fuck it. I'm in a community of these people that I really like, and they're streamers, and I want to find out more about them. So that's when I went into Restream. It was the same train of thought. I mean, there's shitloads of really good streamers and just really good personalities.
Oh yeah.
And this is as much for me to learn about people as it is the people that are viewing it.
So you're cultivating data on us so that you can use all this information. I understand.
Yeah,
I
well,
understand.
you know, I got to get a bit of ammunition, haven't I? But it's purely, I'm not an interviewer. I have a list of fucking questions that I throw at you. That I'm not like a professional interviewer or any shit like that.
They are quite good at it.
It's just nice for me to learn about people. As I can't give any more answer than that, really.
Oh, that's sweet.
Thanks, Mudge, you knobhead. So on that note, Choco, I'm looking forward to your return. Finally, your return to Twitch.
Yes.
I always thoroughly enjoy watching your streams. You're a very relaxed person to just sit and chill with. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it as well. Really excited.
So everyone, make sure you're there, whatever day it will end up being.
Yeah, I'll post and restream when I know what day it will be, just for anyone who's interested in stopping by.
Yes, keep us in the loop.
I will.
So until next time, Nick, I believe, is my next interviewee. And then I don't know. After that, we'll be working it out as we go. But thank you, Choco. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Potato.
It's time to say goodbye. Say goodbye, Choco.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Peace out.
Peace out. Bye, guys. Fuck you, Masha.